Okay.
All right, here we starting it up, man. It looks like we live now. So,
Yes,
hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy, brother Darrin, Big D, as I'm known in some circles, maybe a lot of circles. Blurred Planet, Retail SEO, also Darren's Coffee, all that and a little bit more. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Oh yeah, man. Khonsu and Bro, Blerdplanet, Abhorrent Consulting Corporation, and of course Assurance Enterprises LLC, man. President and CEO. With another conversation, man. Another direct conversation.
Yeah. We like to have these little lunchtime chop ups, man. We a lot of times, man, brother Khonsu and I, man, we sit down and over the phone, we sit there talking about something, and a topic comes up, and usually it's something that's controversial. We're two intelligent black men, and I like to say we're intelligent black men. We like to discuss two blurs. We like to discuss, and today we're going to discuss Megyn Kelly. And she recently made some comments about blackface. Do you see this at all, brother?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. And talked about how she we're going to really talk about how she felt that there wasn't a problem, that I guess that blackface isn't okay. It's something that's okay to dress up in as Halloween, in a Halloween costume. Now, what she I guess she would refer to someone as dressing up as Diana Ross, and she said if someone wanted to dress up as Diana Ross, that's okay. I always had a problem with blackface, because it's because of the long history that black folks have with blackface.
Yeah, definitely. I've equally. It's a part of a racist history. So, that's just like someone that's Jewish and you dress up as a Jewish Holocaust victim by Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they would appreciate that. I'm not equivocating it, but every culture has certain things that are taboo that you just don't touch. Whether it's not logically sensible, it is sensible socially, politically, within an ethnic group's construct. And so culturally, it's disrespectful and it's racist. And it needs to be checked immediately. She was out of order. It's easier for her to say this because of cultural appropriation, because we are integrated and it's an American overlay that all of us are Americans. Unfortunately, the truth behind that is we also all have cultural norms and beliefs. And blackface was a period in which we were, oppressed and continue to be oppressed, and is a part of our oppressive history. So I don't think, I heard her make a couple of comments in regards to how she felt that she gets a chance to express and hear a lot of opinions and things like that. No, you have actual integrity when it comes to being a journalist. There's certain things that you just can't do, man.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I'm showing just a bunch of different actors and kind of blackface in history, and how it's been treated. Generally, the blackface, and something that's recently that happened. Look at that, man. This was something recently that happened with Drake. Him dressed, it came out that he did a blackface photo for his I don't know, I guess it was something that he did in Canada, and apparently in Canada, the comedians some at times there's a history of them doing blackface for some reason or another. I'm not sure. I had a problem in the movie Tropic Thunder. Remember that movie, Tropic Thunder?
Yes.
And I hear a lot of brothers come out and they say, "Oh man, that movie was hilarious," and that movie was hilarious. And the whole time I couldn't laugh because there literally was a man dressed up in blackface, and they made it as a comedy, and it's something that's not funny.
Well, you know, it's a thin line there, brother. You know, I remember when I was young, I saw a skit by Eddie Murphy. He was on Saturday Night Live, and he played a white guy, and I laughed. You know, I thought it was funny, and I think that there is a certain way to do it, laughing at us, at each other as human beings. It's a certain way to do it. It's a certain way that it comes across. When you're portraying a character as opposed to using blackface, which is a racial epithet. That is absolutely racist. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it does become a little confusing because we see these actors do these things like that. And it is really risque, man. It's a touch and go kind of thing. And it should just be done away with altogether so that it doesn't, you know, create the kind of tension it does, man, because I do remember Black Thunder. It confused me. It took me a couple of years to even find out that that was Downey.
Wow, dude.
Actor. I didn't give it the second thought because I didn't really get that deep into the movie. I didn't like the movie. It was boring to me, so I never even watched it all the way through, brother. I ain't gonna lie. And I didn't know that was Robert Downey Jr. that was playing it like that. I honestly, I didn't even know. I found out like a couple years later, and I was like, "What?" Wow.
Is there a line? I remember there was a young boy that wanted to dress up as Martin Luther King Jr. In elementary school, and there's a little white boy, and for him to dress up as Martin Luther King Jr., he came in blackface. So you got to think, all right, at what point in time, where does sensitivity stop, and where does offensiveness begin? And I think that, you know, with the history that we have as Americans and in America, honestly, bro, I don't think it's something that we'll ever be able to parse. What do you think?
Well, you know, it is that's going to require reclassification of things. That's again, you know, if to be honest, in my opinion, if a European wanted to play Martin Luther King, it would have to be a European that favored Martin Luther King. I don't know about the whole makeup thing. Could he probably pull it off? Yes. Would that be considered racist? I would say no. If it's done tastefully, I wouldn't see the point. But some people they look at Martin Luther King as an inspiration to some people. But again, when we just look at in the past, you know, if like superheroes, which I think is trivial, but it created controversy when certain African Americans played superheroes that weren't supposed to be black. I can't remember the couple of them, but I know you remember that. It was an uproar. It was like, I can't believe you making this guy black. He's not black. I can't remember what that movie was, but
was it Green Lantern?
I think it was Green Lantern. But they were like, no, you can't do that, and this and that and the third. So it's kind of biasness in the white privilege world that they get to portray or play these kind of, you know, in between games, these passive aggressive games, you know. And I know just based on the context of what Megyn Kelly did, that was absolutely racist. Whether she wants to clean it up or not, it was absolutely tasteless. It was the wrong. We talking about blackface. We ain't talking about Diana Ross. You know what I'm saying? Playing Diana Ross. If somebody dress up like Diana Ross for Halloween, I don't think that's racist if a European does that. They may like Diana. She's an actress. They playing her. And they may love Diana Ross's music. She's an entertainer.
But the skin darkening. Like, so you see this is the little boy that dressed up like Martin Luther King.
Right.
And he got kicked out of his elementary school for that. Now, let me show you another little boy. He dressed up as Malcolm X. Now, he didn't come as Blackface, did he?
No, I think he did that out of fear. Because if he would have, the same would have probably happened to him because of the racial sensitivity around the whole issue. But he might be inspired by Malcolm X.
Yeah,
he might be inspired by that guy. You know, oh man, I love Malcolm X's message. He just happens to be European and he loves Malcolm X. That's where we got this social divide right here. Where do we draw the line at that? How do we set a norm for that socially? Because I don't have the answer to that. That's a real complex situation.
Me neither, brother. Me neither.
I mean, that's like, I don't know. And that's where I think it's like, but I think as Black people, we need to set standards among ourselves and start checking those kind of things. Like when I look at that photo right there, bro, I don't know if they can see it if I'm talking, but
yeah, right here, this little boy.
I think that's tasteless. I think that's disrespectful. I think the way that that's done and presented is disrespectful. Because clearly he still looks European. Like, what's the point?
He looks crazy, man.
What was the point of rendering him that way?
Yeah.
Like that made absolutely no sense, man.
No.
That right there. But if it was portrayed differently, if it was more effort put into it, then it would have made sense to me. This right here, his parents probably put him up to that.
Yeah.
And because they're desensitized to the cultural Black experience, they may have innocently been racist. Now, I know that sounds contradictory, but Jane Elliott, one of my close friends, actually, I did an interview with her a while back. Jane Elliott said one statement, bro. All white people are racist, whether intentionally or unintentionally. All white people are racist. And the reason they're racist, because they cannot relate to cultures outside of themselves. They don't understand their own history of being privileged and oppressive, which gave them a supremacist mindset. And they don't own up to the history of their supremacy. So even though they may innocently say, hey, I like Martin Luther King, he's great. Okay, but you can't portray Martin Luther King because your history infringed on that.
Oh, wow.
You can't do that. And it doesn't click in their head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a very interesting perspective on things.
Yeah. Because it bothers me, like you, D. When I see the image, I shake a little bit like, the hell?
Yeah.
But logistically, hey, the kid likes Martin Luther King. That's awesome. Logistically, but we ain't talking logic here.
Yeah. We need to let the little boy alone, man. Like, look, little boy, I know you like Martin Luther King. You might even love what he stands for. Just put on a mustache.
Put on the mustache and take that off your face, bro.
Call it a day. And
right
this is why. And tell him this is why. Since, Black folks were portrayed like this, and this is why this is not okay. So, and that's the thing is we need to help people understand that this is not okay. There's just certain things, even though we have I understand the right to free speech, and trust me, I'm a libertarian, man. So I understand, the right to protect free speech is here to protect impolite speech. And there's a certain thing where you go from impolite to hurtful. Cussing in front of a child, that's impolite.
Right.
Coming up as a child molester, dressing as a child molester, that's hurtful. And There's a line that needs to be. There's a line that needs to be crossed. That's crossed. That needs to be drawn.
Now you just said something really profound right there. Because that's the case, then somebody can go and play Jeffrey Dahmer, Charles Manson, and they do. And they do.
Yeah.
And it's not addressed. So you're absolutely, man, that's deep. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Well, thanks, brother, for Khonsu, man. I know you got something to do. I got a lot of stuff to do, man. So
all right.
You know, it's been real, brother, man. Let's go on and be a blerd, man. The black intelligentsia, man. Think about it.
Blerd life.
Right on, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. Peace out.
Peace out.